Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to this spectacular Sunday. I'm lying here meditating as we prepare ourselves for the Olympics on Safari Live.
Ready. Standing by.
5, 4, 3, 2.
From a lion with a bottom, well, roughly the size of an elephant. You can see I've got it next to this elephant here. And I'm going to lay down the gauntlet by dropping this piece of dung at the feet of my colleague and friend Brent Leo Smith, who is just round the corner next to us. And, well, I don't really want to pick it up with my hands, you see. Well, there it is. It smells absolutely beastly.
Stay away from me. I have a stick.
This is the Olympic gauntlet, everybody.
Put that on my car.
I'm going to walk around their car in order to curse them.
Stick. Watch out of here. Get out of here. Hey.
And I shall place it between us.
We had to protect ourselves.
My name is James Hendry, that's Brent over there. Brian's on camera on that side, Liam's on camera this side. That's his unusually large thumb. He is not 4 foot, at least he's not 7'5", he's only about 5'8", despite the thumb that you have just seen. Now, our plan today, of course, if you didn't know, is to have a Bush Olympics. In other words, we're going to try and find as many mammal species, bird species, and other species that have heartbeats as possible. There will hopefully be no cheating. I cannot guarantee no cheating from either of us, and I start with a 5-point advantage, very kindly given to me by my colleague and friend here, Brent Leo Smith.
You ready, James?
I am ready.
Are you ready? Start your engines.
I'm going to start my engine immediately. Here we go, everybody.
All right. And in reverse.
Right. That's the beginning, everybody. The Olympics has begun, the Bush Olympics. It will culminate, of course, in the fireside chat this evening, which will begin at 5:45. And, in fact, we've only got 2 hours of the Olympics because we then have to come and prepare for the fireside chat. So, I hope you enjoyed with us. You can talk to us. It's just a normal game drive. We just are going to count the different species that we see. And you can talk to us on hashtag Safari Live if you're on Twitter. Otherwise on questions at wildearth.tv. Hornbill. All you have to do is see it. Did you see it, Liam? Well done. Red-billed hornbill. We'll have that. Thank you very much. We now have 6. I don't know why Brent decided that he should give me 5 points extra to start with, but I'll take him. I'll take him with pleasure. Now, I don't believe that an insect necessarily has a heartbeat, but I think we'll probably try and count those, especially if we feel like our species count is a little bit low. My earpiece is not in my ear, which is why I cannot hear what the final control is saying. And unfortunately, the one thing we're not allowed to cheat with is not linking when we're asked to link. So let's go across to Brent.
Welcome, the killer bees have got their first animal. It is a Birchall zebra with a short tail. Now, the one thing that's going to be very difficult about today's ranger race is this incredibly hot, gusty wind. Now, we're going to have to keep our distance from certain animals. That is a very nervous zebra due to the wind. But I did spy another creature just beyond it. But I am Brent Leo Smith. I have Brian and the thumb on camera. And the team today are known as the Killer Bees. And we're not, the Killer Bees are not, how's the way to put this? We know our way to the medal podium. Let's just put it that way. Okay, so beyond the short-tailed zebra, there was a waterbuck. Where is it gone, Brian? Has it escaped? Let's go a little bit further forward. Now we are going to start seeing a lot of zebra with the drought setting in. And let's just idle on forward to the edge. You can see how jumpy they are on the wind. think that waterbuck has done us a dirty, Brian. Nope, there it is. There we go, Birchall zebra and the common waterbuck, our first two species. Now it's going to be very interesting. I think whoever takes today's title is going to have to look a little bit deeper than the large mammals, specifically in this wind. And I think birds are not going to have too much to play with the wind. Oh, was that an oxpecker on the zebra? Don't take off, don't fly off the zebra before we get there. There we go. A red-billed oxpecker. So what is that? That's 1, 2, 3. Oh, Brian. It looks like it's the waterbuck running. So we've got zebra, oxpecker, and waterbuck. So we've got 2 more to catch up to our self-imposed handicap, I might add. Okay. So they're looking a bit nervous. Down there, the waterbuck and zebra running off. I don't want to chase them away from the water on a hot day like this, and especially with the drought that's happening, so we're going to leave them be, see what other creatures might unfold in front of us. And as I said, I suppose we could do a little commentator section, Brian. What do you think? Well, we're out here in Djuma Private Game Reserve today for the final of the Bush Olympics. It is really tough conditions, but there's some really, really good competitors out there. So let's see what happens. Let's quickly jump across to the other vehicle with James, see how he's going.
Now, there's a steenbok here, everybody. Can you still see it? Let it run away, obviously. Oh, curses. You got it. Really?
Yes, it is.
Shall I go forward? A little bit forward. Yes, there it is, everybody. No, yes, it is. It's a creature. Duiker. Well done, Viam. Let's move on. The common duiker. We saw many common duiker today, everybody. In fact, I think between Eggsy and I, we probably saw about 76,000 of them this morning. That was all we saw. This morning was not particularly productive on the animal front. James has 5 extra points, Donna, because Brent decided that he was so good in the wilderness this morning that he was going to give me a head start of 5 points. I'm not sure he expected me to take it seriously, but I did take it seriously, and now I have 5 points. So if I win, it will be because he has given me 5, well, maybe because he gave me 5 points, and then he will feel silly for doing that. Buffalo. Hello, buffalo. And oxpeckers. That's 2 more. Are you keeping a tally, Rebecca? That is 9 for us so far. Starling, up at the top there, in the top of the tree. There we are. Cape Glossy Starling, then Battalier above that. Battalier. Oh, you didn't see the Battalier. Oh no, curses. Right, that is the Cape Glossy Starling, and I failed to find a Cape Glossy Starling for Siberia Zumi this morning. He wanted to see all the starling species that we have. Birchall's starling, no, that's another Cape Glossy on the ground there. I think we'll just call that Cape Glossy. And it's going to look for insects, perhaps, in the muck around here that all the buffalo have left. Good, that is all there is over here. Let us continue. We don't want this to be a mad rush, just a small rush. To see as many species as we can. Blue waxbills, everybody, but unfortunately with this camera, seeing those blue waxbills is going to be impossible. To be fair, I think that 5 points is not a bad option for me because we have the short lens, you see. Hello, Genevieve. What a very interesting question you've asked. There's a gymnogene over there, VMP. That's an African harrier hawk. I'm just going to confirm that with my binoculars. It is indeed an African harrier hawk. Genevieve, you say animals experience adrenaline surges. They do when they're threatened. And you want to know if they experience the euphoria that sometimes accompanies that with human beings, or if it's just for survival. I think very much it's just for survival. I imagine possibly some of them feel a little bit more euphoric than others when they get that adrenaline rush. They might get slightly addicted to it, I suppose. But remember, adrenaline is not a particularly healthy hormone. It's a hormone that gets, oh, it's a beautiful bird. It's a hormone that gets produced when you're under extreme stress, and it creates a sort of flight response. It charges your muscles, and you're able to achieve incredible feats of strength when you do it. And then it's broken down, if I'm not mistaken, by cortisol. I think that's how it works. Anyway, let's go across to Brent, and we'll talk more about adrenaline when you come back here.
Here we go, yellow-billed hornbill, one species. So Brian and our tactic is that we're going to hit multiple species in one spot. We're not going to dilly-dally with one species at a time. So from the yellow-billed hornbill to the most numerous antelope in Africa, south of the Sahara, the impala. And they are pretty jumpy today with this gusting wind around, and they're not hanging about when we stop the vehicle. They moved into the bush where they feel a little bit safer. Now, another one of my favorite little critters is around here as well, but they're going to be very nervous, as I said, in this wind. So they did disappear into this said termite mound. Little dwarf mongoose. Where are you, little mongoose? I think they're going to be hiding from me in this wind. Any sign of them, Brian? Oh, fork-tailed drongo above the impala. Got it? So between the two marulas, at the distance, a little bit to the left. There we go. There it is. The fork-tailed drongo is out getting all the insects disturbed by the impala as they feed. I think these dwarf mongoose have decided to become very scarce and go underground in this gusting wind, as their hearing, their smell, and with the amount of dust there is today, their sight is probably a little bit impaired as well. But there we go, catching our handicap. But it is wonderful to be out in the bush in all its different phases. And I won't lie, the strong windy days, unless I'm with big cats on the hunt, they can make life a little bit difficult out here when it comes to game viewing. A lot of your herbivores are quite skittish. Elephants can be quite skittish. So it's going to be interesting to see what we can do, and what a perfect challenge for the Ranger Wrestle, the last event of the Bush Olympics. Okay, there we go. Let's see if these impala are a little bit more relaxed. You can see they're keeping quite tight groups, and in this wind, they're not spreading out as much as they would normally through the bush. And it is safety in numbers. The closer you are, as the predators come, the less likely you're going to be the one who gets scoffed. Now, we're going to check every oxpecker in case there's a yellow-billed as well, but unfortunately those are all red-billed oxpeckers, so unfortunately don't count. Now, if we look at the impala, there's a very interesting thing on their back ankle. And here we go, you can see those little black dots there. Those are called metatarsal glands. Now, when a herd of impala are chased by a predator, they often bombshell into all directions. And they release a pheromone from that gland, and that enables the herd to find each other again afterwards. So they can quickly get back into their big numbers for safety. Okay, well, let's leave the impalas looking a bit nervous in the wind. And remember, this is live, so while we're racing around trying to find as many species as possible with a heartbeat, you can send us questions, and you can do that by using the hashtag SafariLive on Twitter, or you can send us an email to questions@wildearth.tv. Oh, James has got another antelope. Brian, we're going to have to up the game, so let's go see what it is.
Nyala. That's what those are, everybody. Nyalas. And nyala is a really pleasant thing to say. Nyala, and above them a fork-tailed drongo. There it is. Well done, Viam. These nyalas are enjoying the shade. It's quite hot today, about 30 degrees Celsius, I think, which sits at about 85 or so. There is a howling wind, which is typical for this time of the year, so that's totally normal. And the nyala, they're not feeding at all, so I'm imagining that they're probably ruminating or thinking about going off to have something to eat just now, perhaps. And they'll go into the thickets and see if they can find some fresh leaves to eat. And, of course, it's beholden on me every so often to explain some South Africanisms. I've started to use the term just now again, which in South Africa means in a little while, but to the rest of the world means sort of immediately. So when I say they'll go off just now, I mean in a little while they'll go off and have something to eat. Ooh, did you see the bird that landed there, Vimpy? Just above there, just above the drongo, and to the right-hand side, I think it's a chin spot batis, which is impossible to see with this camera. It's about a pixel in size. Now it's flown away. Chin spot batis, I saw it, but we can't count it because you didn't see it, everybody, so we can't count that one. Righty. Let's see what else we can find. It's a very pleasant afternoon, I must say. I would very much like to see a leopard at some stage. I'm starting to forget what they look like. I suppose I did see Karula a few days ago, but I'd like to see her babies. They're growing up without me, and you know they grow up so fast. One blinks one's eye, and there they have grown up immediately. What is that, Viam? That is a tawny eagle, I believe. No, it's a hooded vulture. A hooded vulture, everybody. Well done, Viam. The hooded vulture, of course, the first... we probably should have a rule about this, that you have to give some kind of interesting tidbit of information about whatever we see. Otherwise, it's just going to become seasickness safaris. The hooded vulture is normally the first vulture to arrive at kills because it flies slightly lower than the others, and it's, well, I don't know, I'm not sure why else it should be the first one there, but it's also got a much smaller beak, which means that it eats much smaller pieces of the carcasses, and it gets in amongst the bones and eats out the sort of gristle that the other vultures are not able to do, which I think is quite impressive. Now, I'm going to hope that that is a greater blue-eared glossy starling. And my interesting fact about the greater blue-eared glossy starling is that it goes... Isn't that an interesting fact, Viam?
Yeah, but it doesn't quite go.
It does. It is a mediocre fact, but I'm still taking it. It's like most of the starlings, everyone. It will be... I've been told that that fact was mediocre, and I need to give you another one. Like most of the starlings, it will spend the winter struggling to find insects to eat, and that's why you find them following the big herds of elephant and buffalo. Okay, Rebecca, are you happy with that one? Phew, that's a luck. The judges say that that is sufficient fact. Factoid. I don't know what the difference between a fact and a factoid is. Do you, Viam? Not. Okay. Oh, crested francolin. You can go across to Brent now. I'm just showing you the crested francolin. Interesting fact about the crested francolin, of course, is that it is the first francolin to call in the mornings. The alarm clock of the bush. Let's go across and find out what Brent has found.
So we've caught up with the very beautiful young male Inyala in the thickets. Also being a little bit hard, playing a little bit hard to get due to the incredibly windy weather we're experiencing. Now, Inyala is a relatively new species in comparison to some of the other species out here, and you can actually tell that from their distribution. Oh, I don't know if he's seen us. Someone was about to come around the corner. Let me just move off the road quickly. As I said, a relatively new species due to their distribution. Oh, I've got a very, well, we'll get back to the Nyala now in a few seconds. But I do believe Opar has a heartbeat. And an interesting fact about Opar is he's the man who keeps the cars running. Hi, Opar. Hi, Opar. Good, thanks for coming from Arethusa. Okay, sharp. Any English? Roots. Okay. Thanks, Opar. Oh, I wonder what Final Control is going to say about that. He does have a heartbeat. I get a point for Opar. Yes. Well, I've got an interesting fact about, well, Opar. Opar keeps the Land Rovers up and running. But of course, human beings have been changing the African savannas for about 200 to 400,000 years. We've been managing our environment. Now, I nearly forgot about the Nyalas we just saw. So, of course, the Nyala is a relatively new species compared to a lot of the others, and you can see that from its distribution. So, it evolved somewhere around the north coast of KwaZulu-Natal, north coast of South Africa, and the southern coast of Mozambique, and they've been slowly spreading further and further from then. So a relatively new species, and the Sabi sand in Nyala population, strangely enough, is actually not an originally indigenous population. It's an introduced population. They were introduced about 65 years ago, and they've blossomed, but they actually have put down the bushbuck population. You got what I'm looking at, Brian? Oh, where's he? He's hovering. He's gone. He's there. Oh, had it for a second. Oh, we're trying to find a dragonfly. And desperate times in this wind. I think he has escaped us, the dragonfly. He went in, oh, well, we didn't see it, no point for us. So yes, an interesting fact about Inyala, the original Inyala population, the Sabi Sands Inyala population is introduced. They are not originally indigenous. They would have become indigenous, but probably in about 1,000 years or so. They would have slowly moved their way up the river systems. But we helped them on, or human beings helped them on a little bit there. Oh, this wind, this wind, this wind. Oh, we're searching. Now, in this area, we're probably looking for Duiker, Steenbok, maybe Kudu. And of course, always Queen Karula. She's been known to hang around in these parts. So I think a good bet, Brian, is let's get some water holes. I mean, we can't even see a bird. They're going to be keeping a low profile. You got him flying. A different species of hornbill. The red-billed hornbill. Oh, is it? There we go. Off they go. Now, of course, we all love the hornbills for their morning chorus, that tock, 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 tock. But they're an incredibly interesting species due to the design of their bill. It enables them to feed on quite dangerous things like scorpions and snakes even sometimes. But it sounds like James is back in the running with a few more points.
There's a giraffe, everybody, and my interesting fact about the giraffe is, of course, that it is the world's tallest land mammal. Hooray! I would confirm whether or not we're allowed repeats, because Brent has now claimed red-billed hornbill, which we gave you as our very first animal. Judges, are we allowed repeats? Yes or no? The repeat is allowed. There we go. We've got some waterbuck. Brilliant. And my interesting factoid about these waterbuck, everybody, is that despite the thickness that their fur appears to be, it is not in fact very thick. It is quite sparsely spaced. So although it's quite long, it is quite sparse. Which I think is quite interesting given the amount of heat that there is around here. The other interesting thing about them is they don't tend to spend too much time around water here, which kind of puts pay to their names. What else you got? You are allowed to speak. A Battalier, there we are. Well done, Battalier Eagle. And my interesting factoid for that bird, the B-50, the B-2 bomber, remember that? The stealth bomber was designed on the platform of the Battalier Eagle because it doesn't fly with a tail, so they studied how it flew. And that one has no that one's a youngster, it's a juvenile, so it's got a tail. Very nice. Well done, Liam. B-2 bomber, Battalier, waterbuck, and giraffe. Very nice. Oh, and a grey go-away bird. We're going to take that one too. It's just above the giraffe there, on the dead tree. There we are. Beautiful grey go-away bird. Let's just have a look at the giraffe again, because he's quite a spectacular fellow. I haven't seen many around here for some time, I must tell you. I feel it would be disrespectful of us to just give a ridiculous factoid like that he's the tallest land mammal, which everybody knows. So let us just appreciate him on this very warm Sunday afternoon. The males tend to get a little bit darker as they get older, but a bit like us, they have a variation in hair colour, some blonde, some red, some brunette. Very nice, Vim. That's twice you filmed the same giraffe. You're coming round to them, are you? No, he's not really. It's only because of the competition, everyone. Otherwise, he wouldn't have pointed the lens anywhere near that thing. Ah, yes. Maybe Karula will come down to Twin Dams. We're going towards Twin Dams, and then we'll feed our way to the east and back up towards Biffleshoek Dam, where we'll probably bump into Brent. I'm guessing from where he's been, the fact that he saw Opar, that he's heading up to Sydney's Dam and possibly across the Biffleshoek cut line towards Biffleshoek Dam. And still our little Wahlberg's nest remains unoccupied. There it is in the top of this tree. No Wahlbergs in it or above it or anywhere near it, indeed. Ah, well, they'll come back eventually, I hope. Now, surely we must be able to add impala to our tally. There is a ring-necked dove. Do you see it, Wimpy? Ring-necked dove, everyone. Ostensibly a seed-eating bird. I said ostensibly a seed-eating bird, Rebecca. And what they do is they dig around in the soil, and as I was saying a little while back, When the water comes and the rain arrives, it often is a wonder as to how or where the green grass comes from. There is a tremendous seed bed around here that those birds manage to survive on, without which birds like that would really struggle to survive. On we go, ring-necked dove. Rebecca, what is the score? Ah, 22 to James, 9 to Brent. It is early days. Is that including my head start? Blue waxbill. And a zebra. Where's the zebra? Oh, well spotted, VM. Is it alive? And doesn't matter, no. No, it can be dead, but that one is alive. Yardbird, you're interested in what a Wahlberg's eagle eats. It's basically small mammals, small reptiles, anything sort of meaty that it can get its talons and beak into. It's not particularly fussy about what it eats, I don't think. Let me just quickly confirm that exactly. Yeah, and birds. So birds, reptiles, small mammals. Also will eat frogs and insects, termites. You'll find it eating termites at emergences. As the waxbill has gone, hasn't it? Okay, well we got... Alrighty, well we're going in search of more species. Brent, I think, is heading towards the north. Let's find out if he can add to his tally of 9.
Well, we've spotted a few birds, but they keep fluttering away. Just trying to see, there was a brown-hooded kingfisher that flew in here somewhere. I'm not seeing him again. As I said, it's going to be tough in this wind, but we like a challenge. Okay, we're heading down towards a little patch of water in Twin Dams. Maybe, just maybe, there's going to be something around there. Also, one of the main reasons I'm heading there is because there's a fruiting jackalberry, so I'm hoping to get a few bird species. Standing by, yours. Copy, thanks very much. So that was just an update on the Nkahuma Pride of Lions. They are 400 meters to the north of our boundary, which is unfortunate. But hopefully they might make their way back before the end of the sunset safari. Brian, where are all the animals? Where are all the birds? The birds have been blown away. They've been blown north. And I think we've got a chance coming up at this fruiting jackalberry to add maybe a couple of species. Almost certainly grey go-away bird. Unless they'd finished eating all the fruit already. Well, we can hear some birds. There, that's the big tree up here. It's fruiting at the moment. There we go. There's the grey go-away bird. So, have you seen a different one to me? To the left. Okay. Oh, is it a go-away bird? I can't see. Oh, there we are. There we go. The grey go-away bird. And there's another one, but I can hear some more birds in that fruiting tree. Now, of course, the grey go-away bird has been quite a pest to lots of different animals. They alarm call it lion, leopards, and even at people sometimes. There we go. Right on the edge is a glossy starling. Where am I being blind? There we go, down, bottom left corner. Come across. Here we go. a Cape glossy starling. And you can see that incredible iridescence shining off him. Now, the shinier you are, the better chance you've got of getting a mate. So female starlings will choose the shiniest looking male to mate, and the reason for that is that that iridescent shine is very, very connected to their health. So the more unhealthy the starling is, the less shiny they are. Oh, sorry. Standing by, Taxon. I did Weaver's Nest. I'm now Twin Dams, and then I'm going to check the Mawati to the north. Okay, let's have a look. Maybe there's a green pigeon. Okay, copy, it will do. Okay, so far just lots of starlings and go away. But oh, there's a different starling species. Don't fly away, don't fly away. There is landed next to that go away birds. Oh, I can't really see. Where is he now? There we go. That's a Birchall starling. So our second starling species. The Cape glossy starling Tour Pro is wondering whether it's the same as the Cape starling. Now, I'm trying to... I think yes, it is. Cape glossy starling is the same species as the Cape starling. And that was from Tour Pro. Sorry, I'm just trying to see if there's any green pigeons, but you can actually just see how strong the wind is. But I think I know where things are going to be hiding in this strong wind, in the Mawati River. Okay. So I wonder what... Where did it go? Where did it go? Brian, you got him? On the ground? Okay, so you see there's that little dark scuff mark? Wait, just come... Okay. Okay, to the right, slightly. And... Oh, this is going to be very tricky. I'm just trying to see... Okay, Brian, let's have a look with the eyes. Oh, there it goes. Yes, there we go. It's called a guinea fowl. There we go. It's called a guinea fowl. So there's a bird named after it as well. But Taxon's just calling me. Apparently there's monkey alarm calls. Tax, I'm on Twin Dams. I can make my way straight there if you'd like. Okay, so we've just got a report, and Taxon's asked me to come give him a hand. I'm going to just see if James is closer, because there are monkey... Oh no, well, that answers the question, whether James is closer, to follow up on the monkey alarm calls. I was hoping he was going to be closer than me, but he wasn't closer than me. He's in the exact same position as me.
Fail safe to just keep following you, because you gave us 5 points, so if we follow you, we'll see exactly what you see and we can't lose.
Yes. That is also quite a clever strategy, but I don't know if you're going to get that butterfly.
A butterfly doesn't have a heart. Ergo, you may not
it said animals.
No, it said heartbeat.
I'm being told by Final Control that it counts. I'm going to make my way towards there, see what those monkeys are shouting at, and that way you can't follow me.
Okay. Bye.
Bye. Sneaky strategy by Master Henry. Since we gave him 5 bonus, he keeps following us and seeing whatever we see. Is he turning around, Brian? I think he is.
No, he's following us.
Quickly. Evasive maneuvers. We need to collect some elephant dung, and then as we drive, we deploy flares. That was very sneaky of James, but quite exciting. There are monkeys alarm calling, and just up ahead here. So Taxon's asked me to come back into that area to try help him. There's also tracks of a leopard. I didn't hear it was male or female, so I'm going to rush to that area, and I'm sure James is going to go try pick up all the starling species we just saw in that large jackalberry. Okay, let's go to James and the killer bees starlings.
Hello everybody, we're back again. Well, I thought it was quite a good strategy, don't you? Keep up, just follow behind him. He's given us a 5-point advantage to start with, and then you're going to see exactly what he sees. I think that's a very clever strategy. Anyway, we're going to desist with that strategy. I thought he was going up towards Sydney's Dam. He isn't. He's now going to help follow up with some... oh. They've actually got a leopard there. You've seen a leopard. So Brent is on his way there, and Aubrey and Taxon are there. So with any luck, we'll have a leopard soon. Good. That's a nice stroke of luck. I wonder if it's the same one we saw yesterday that Brian and I saw, that rather shy thing that was very nervous of us. I don't know. That's brilliant. Great stuff. Now, what I'm looking for here is the brown hooded kingfisher, which occur in fairly large abundance in this particular area. Guinea fowl butterfly. Pfft. Pfft. Doesn't have a heart. Suddenly the rules have changed. I'm going to have to send the rules that were sent to me by Rebecca back to her, so that she can read what she wrote. Plants are alive, Rebecca. No plants or anything other than plants or trees. So it can be a carcass. Really? How old can the carcass be?
Lion poo count?
Yes, does the lion poo count? So I need you to confirm now, no plants, correct? Any other organism? But any other organism, is that correct? Yes? Okay, arachnids? Yes, we can have arachnids. Okay, well I've got something here that is not a plant or an animal, and so because we're allowed, well, anything except plants, right? Anything except plants. Oops, I'm now stuck. Ah. Oh dear. That is a lichen, everybody. A lichen is not a plant. It is not an animal. It is a kingdom entirely on its own, built on the symbiosis between fungi and algae.
They approve.
They approve. Fantastic. God. All right, let's keep going. Well, Brent's going to look for the leopard. He'll be concentrating hard on the leopard. See what else we can see in here. No, I don't know the individual species of that lichen, Rebecca. No one does. No, it's not. It is a species of lichen, and therefore, were I to find another one and to try and claim that they were different, then it would be a problem. The fact that I do not know which species of lichen that is not a problem. There was nothing in your rule book that said I had to name the species. They just had to be different. There we go. Phew. I'm getting my point from Rebecca, everybody. Thank goodness, she's trying to rob me. Heartbeats are now deeply unthick on the ground at the moment. Oh, that's a good point. In fact, let's do that right now.
Hey, you can't touch my camera.
We've got a new species, everybody. It's VM.
Hi guys, we've got a special point. I can't see who it is just yet, but if we have a look straight across my bonnet, we have, oh no, behind a bush we have a leopard. I'm just trying to find a gap where we can get a good view for you, and we can also get an ID. There we go. Is it the queen? Looks to be a female. I think it is Queen Karula. Cub's not here, so she's obviously been out hunting. I think Queen Karula should be worth 100 points. Oh, phone tax got good visual. Okay, now this is a double-edged sword for us, because of course it's amazing that we've getting to have a look at Queen Karula, but it is going to make it quite difficult for us to get the rest of the species. So James does have an opportunity to leap ahead in the Bush Olympics this afternoon. Brian, quickly, another species. There we go. Another species. I just got it. It's a stable fly, one of the little biting flies that bites us. Okay. Oh, it looks like she might get moving. Oh, she just had a little roll over. And there we go. You can actually see some of that fly's friends buzzing around her ears. Little biting flies that feast off mammalian blood. There we go. It's quite warm today, 30 degrees Celsius. Cecilia thinks we should get 85 points for seeing Karula. I think, Cecilia, you should have a word with the judges. That. I've just heard a terrible update. We only get 1 point for Queen Karula. Hi. Liz Nee is wondering, do animals ever snore? They do, actually, and probably the loudest snore I've ever heard from an animal is from an elephant. But they do snore. It's not that common. I've heard lions snore, leopards snore. There we go, Brian's heard a warthog snore even. So yes, certain animal species do snore. I've heard baboons snoring actually, and monkeys as well. So there we go. Queen Karula having a snooze. So she obviously had an unsuccessful hunt. There were monkeys alarm calling at her. So that's probably why she stopped. She might have been stalking something. It is really great hunting weather for the big cats, even though it's still daylight. This strong gusting wind is going to affect the hearing and the smell of all the prey species out here. So there is a good chance she might be successful in daylight hours today. And if this wind continues through into the darkness, it will make for very, very good hunting weather for the Queen of Djuma. Okay, so there's quite a few vehicles trying to get in here. We will come back later. So we will come back later, but she is snoozing, and there's a couple of other guys who want to get in there, and we don't want to get too far behind on our game, so I don't think she's going to move. I will keep an ear to the radio. As soon as she starts moving, we'll make our way back. But there we go, Queen Karula. So there haven't been leopards seen for the last couple of days on Djuma, so there's a lot of the lodges want to get in, have a quick look, but we will come back later, don't worry. Yours, you can make your way straight in. I'll make space for you. 100%. I'll come back later, no problem. I film, I'm sure taxi, don't worry. Okay, so we're just going to make space, but I guarantee there will be space again just now. Most people are probably, oopsie, we got stuck there in a little hole. There we go. Well, isn't that exciting? At least Karula is on property. We will be back a little bit later. And Rocky Knight was wondering if Shadow's cub has been seen. And apparently it has, Sarah. I can't 100% confirm. I did hear it was seen by itself yesterday. So it looks like Shadow's up to the same shenanigans she did with Sindile before he went into quarantine, leaving a young cub while going off and mating again. So very strange behavior, and it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. Hi Sarah, who's from Cape Town, South Africa. Sarah would like to know, is it usual for leopards to sleep on the ground? Don't they normally sleep in trees, and aren't they quite vulnerable on the ground? Well, no, Sarah, even though it looks like she's sleeping, if you watched her ears carefully, she's always listening, and you actually find leopards on the ground far more than you find them in trees, and they snooze on the ground far more than they snooze in trees. So they'll generally only snooze in a tree when it's very hot, they're trying to get away from the biting flies, or if they've got meat in that tree. But most of the time, they will sleep on the ground. Okay. So we're not going to go too far. We will come back to Karula, as I said. We'll just let the guys get through, see their leopard, and then they'll probably go look for lions in Buffelshoek. Hook. So we'll head back there a little later. Now, Brian, anything alive near us? Okay, while we continue to search, and hopefully we haven't fallen too far behind by the time we've been sitting with Queen Karula, let's go see what James has found.
We have found nothing else just yet. Well, that's not true. We did see a pearl Charaxes butterfly, which would have made everyone seasick if we'd tried to follow it. And we saw an emerald spotted wood dove, but you were looking at Karula, so we thought we wouldn't disturb that particular aspect of things. And otherwise, no. But we're about to hit Buffelshoek Dam, hopefully not physically, and we'll see what's come down there. I was rather hoping those lions would have crossed back this way to come and have a drink here, but I think they are still in the same place they were. The wind is blowing up something cruel here, which means that all the birds are hiding in thick bush, because if they come out into the open, they'll be blown away. Right, here we are at the dam. Come on, let there be lapwings and geese and hardy-daws and hippos and lions and leopards and elephants. Oh, Nyala, we've seen them already. Never mind. Ringneck dove, we've seen him already too. Hippopotamus, everyone, hippopotamus. Hello, Fox from Japan. You want to know the ringneck dove is a close relative of the European turtle dove. It is indeed. And it used to be known as the Cape turtle dove, and it's now called the European, at least it's now called the ringneck dove. There's one there. Very similar to the European turtle dove. Fox. Then we've got a three-banded plover down there. It's there in the middle there. There we go, flying, being attacked by the blacksmith lapwing. Did you get him? Right-hand corner, there we are, well done. There's another giraffe coming down to drink, which is quite nice. We've got the blacksmith lapwing, and we've also... we can't take the blacksmith lapwing's baby, can we, as a different species. What is that over there? That's a hornbill. We've got the hornbill, I think. Let's just watch this giraffe. I know we're in the middle of a very important, major Olympic competition here, but if this giraffe comes down to drink, it will be well worth the wait. Even though sitting out here on the wall, we're exposed to the wind. That three-banded plover has been attacked by that lapwing mercilessly for days on end. Really understand why that should be the case. Perhaps it's got to do with the lack of nutrients. Now, giraffe, of course, are tremendously ponderous drinkers. They think about it very deeply before they come down and have a drink. And they're also not particularly water dependent, you see, so I think he's obviously decided that things are just a little bit odd around here with the muck and the hippo, and so he's going to move on and try and find somewhere else to drink while he relieves himself in the bottom of the dam. That's very typical, isn't it, Viam? Anything else that we can see around here before we press on in our quest for many species? Okay, we are going to wait here apparently. We need to wait here. VMP, what is that off to the far right there? Is that the three-banded plover? Sorry everyone, there we are. Yes, it is the three-banded plover. Let me take out the binoculars and see what else I can see around here. Yes, 2 three-banded plovers. One blacksmith lapwing, one hippopotamus, very miserable looking, very miserable looking hippopotamus there. You can see really not a lot for it to be doing there. not much water for it to lie in. And Betty, it really is a good question from you is whether these dams will completely fill up or not. Sorry, I'm not paying attention to my monitor, am I, BM? Betty, they will, but it depends on how much water we have. If we have about, say, if we have what is the normal, so about sort of 600 millimeters or so, then you'll find that it will get pretty full. It'll probably touch, look, I don't think it'll touch the bottom end of this particular, of these sort of knobthorn branches that are here. But I think it'll probably get to within sort of 3 or 4 feet of them. So, I mean, it's a tremendous amount of water that will fill up this dam. And there's an expected deluge, Betty. They're expecting there to be a huge amount of water this year. And that's why these dams have been fortified. I'm unconvinced that anybody really knows how much water there's going to be. Let's go a little bit forward and have a look at that giraffe. Hello, Kathy Stewart. You say, did I give a factoid about the hippo, and therefore can I have the point? I did not give you a factoid about the hippopotamus. Are you ready, Kathy Stewart? Get your pen poised. A hippopotamus bull weighs 2,500 kilograms. Woo! That's not very interesting, Kathy, but what is interesting, I think, about their mass is the fact that they only have a gestation period of 8 months. That is a month shorter than the human being. Now, I've never met a human being weighing 2,500 kilograms. Well, I've met a few people that come close, but still, it is a massive amount of mass, and yet they have such an amazingly short gestation period. And the reason for that is that they live in the water. And so the youngsters are protected by the water from the predators, and so they don't need to spend quite as long in utero as many of the other animals. So other animals of the similar size, like rhino, for example, have a gestation period twice as long, up to 16 months. There you are, Kathy. There's many, many factoids for you. Let's continue along this way. Lisa, you say, is that hippo going to relocate soon? I would suggest, Lisa, that if it doesn't relocate soon, it's going to find itself in a substantial amount of discomfort and unpleasantness. There's nowhere really close by that it can go, maybe into Biffle's Hook, but I suspect the reason it's here is because it's been thrown out of a pod in Biffle's Hook. There, that's what this female giraffe's been looking at. See up there? She's been looking at a male. He's now looking at us. Romance across the treetops. Now, I think giraffes spend quite a lot of time in this kind of contact, where they're in visual contact, but because most of us are shorter than the trees, we can't see what they can see, and what I think they're looking at half the time is each other, and we often don't know that. Sorry, I've now lost my earpiece again. Let's head across to Brent Leo Smith. Apparently he has got some elephants.
So there's a little herd of elephants. They're not very relaxed in this wind. So we're keeping our distance. They just finished having a drink at the Juma Pan. And they might start feeding, so we're just going to let them relax down a little bit. Directly opposite the pan at the moment. There we go. Hello, ladies. It's okay. See, she's trying to smell us. She's pointing her trunk in our direction. But Brian, in the sky ahead of us is another pair. There we go. You got them? There we go. Battalier. Pair of Battalier eagles flying. at that. Surfing the high winds of today. Wow, this wind is really strong. And, of course, Gerald, the giraffe. Hello, Gerald. I think Gerald's on his way towards the pan to have a drink as well. Oh, wind seems to be getting stronger. Now, of course, giraffe are incredibly tall, 4 meters in length. And they've got quite a lot of advantages. That long neck enables them to see predators from quite far away. It enables them to reach branches that other animals can't get. Just quickly check that there's not yellow-billed oxpeckers there. They all look like reds, I'm afraid. Yep, red-billed. Oh, those eddies. We're going to get one last view of the eddies as they move off into the bush. There we go. So even though this herd might be a herd under normal circumstances, will be really relaxed, they really don't like strong wind like this. It makes a lot of the elephants very, very nervous. So even a normally relaxed herd can be a bit unrelaxed in this wind. So we're not going to try go too close to them. You see, they've put a bit of distance between us and them, and they've become far more relaxed. And looks like they're going to head off to start feeding on the crest. And here we go. You can see the little one still not 100% relaxed. See the ears, the tail, not enjoying this wind. Can you imagine if you've got smell as good as an elephant? This wind is probably charging you with multiple smells that just keep coming and going, coming and going. So I can imagine that be a little bit stressful. Oh, while we're here, Brian, blacksmith lapwing. So in the center of the bowl, where there's that very tall, very sharp spiked stick, just up to the right of that stick. There we go, and up there we go. Blacksmith lapwing. And we know the one at Buffalo's Hook Waterhole at the moment has got a little baby. And let's go have a closer look at that giraffe. So this wind is keeping us honest, really. You've got to be really, really vigilant. Now, if you ever had to walk on foot, this is possibly some of the most dangerous weather to walk in. There we go. Oh, quickly, before the giraffe right next to us, the good old, most common Cape turtle, ring-necked dove. And then just behind it, Brian, on the ground, if we go above, over the wood there, if you have a look, boom, there we go, red-billed buffalo weaver. And oh, quickly, I think it might fly, so if we come out a little bit, Brian, there's that single little acacia that's by itself to the left. There we go. Zoom right at the base. We will give our facts. It's just, is it? It's a southern black tit. Of course, there we go. One of the most frequently seen birds in bird parties. Yeah, the black and white of the southern black tit. Now, They are great feeders of spiders, and will even use spider webs to build their nests. Now, we've got to give a fact now about the Cape turtle dove. Now, the Cape turtle dove's got a wonderful call, one of the more common calls we have. And where's the Cape turtle? There he is. And he sits there, and in the early morning, he says, work harder, work harder, work harder. But at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, he changes his tune, and he says, drink lager, drink lager, drink lager. Or he says, Cape turtle, Cape turtle. So it all depends on how you want to interpret his bird song. And of course, the red-billed buffalo weavers, which there's still one out there. They build massive communal nesters, and they use thorns and all sorts of spiky spines to keep creatures like snakes out of their nest. So even though they're communal nesters, each pair will have a little nest that is just theirs. Now, it's quite a difficult thing. Oh, Brian, sorry, very quickly, there's a Birchall starling chasing some smaller seed eaters there. Can't see what they are just yet, but he's attacking them. Difficult to say from this distance. Look at that starling. I wonder why he's attacking them. No reason, but starlings are bullies. There could be a food resource like termites or something there that starling doesn't want to share. Let's try to get a little bit closer. Hopefully they don't disappear in this strong wind. There's a productive little segment there. And I think I'm hoping, I'm guessing, I'm not going to guess till I can actually see properly what those little seed eater birds are. I think they could be widers. Okay, we should be close enough now for the super zoom. There's some closer to us next, that little green jobby. There we go. There we go, that's the closest one, I think. It is a grey, is it? Whoa! Bully starling. There was definitely a grey-headed sparrow there. That's that Birchall starling we saw a bit earlier, chasing all the little seed eaters. So there could be multiple species of seed eaters in this little group. I had a glimpse of a grey-headed sparrow before the starling chased it. But there we go. Let's try and figure out what everyone is in there. There's a female lesser-masked weaver. Oh, it's so difficult in this light as well. They are quite far away, so that starling is really giving them a hard time. That's amazing. I'm just trying to double check the weaver before I make a definite call on it. You don't want to be getting minus points for wrong answers. Let's try sneak a bit closer again. Oh, there's one in the road. Let's have a look. Oh, did it fly? Of course it did. Okay, the light should be a little bit better now. Oh, there we go. These are grey-headed sparrows. It actually looks real nice. A big flock of grey-headed sparrows feeding off grass seeds. I think that little weaver I saw has flown off, so I'm not 100% sure on it. So I'm not going to claim it. That would just be cheating. Oh, it sounds like they might have lost crew in a thicket, so we're going to start heading back towards that area to give them a hand. But we will see. In this thicket there, Brian, little bird jumping to the left of the termite mound. making lots of noise. There we go. Bzz, 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 bzz. There's a rattling cisticula. The most common cisticula species we get out here. And I'm actually trying to think. I actually haven't seen another cisticula species here for a long time, since the summer. I think the last cisticula I saw was a zitting cisticula. But a lot of the cisticulas have their names after their calls. Oh, have you got something else in there? Alright, that's the rattling. Who's been making all the noise. You see that little slightly pink heads? It's got slightly pink legs and a little rufous cap. Now, one of the best little birds, if they're alarming heavily to find, you can use them to find snakes and even leopards. Okay, goodbye, little cisticula. An LBJ, a little brown job in birding, technical birding terminology. And remember, guys, hashtag Safari Live. And why don't we see who out there, who do you guys think is going to win? Who's going to win? Is it going to be the killer bees? Or is it going to be W and J, or J and W? So let us know. Who do you think is going to win this evening's challenge? And let us know by sending us an email to questions@wildearth.tv or use the hashtag Safari Live on Twitter. And not to be a spoiler one, just to let you know, the killer bees know their way to the podium. Let's just leave it at that. Tax. Tax confirmed. Do you think those Duggar boys are going to stop her from going down there? Copy. I was just going to take Gallagher shortcut in case she cuts to the slender mongoose. That slender mongoose nearly caught a baby Franklin. Copy, thanks. And there's Natal Franklin as well, that slender mongoose just jumped, and I heard the Franklin alarm calling, and I looked at it. You see how close they're staying together? Natal Franklin, unfortunately, Brian, did we get that slender mongoose on camera? Oh, darn, sneaky slender. So what happened is that slender mongoose tried to grab one of the young sub-adult Franklin, and the others rushed in to attack. I just caught that out of the corner of my eye. Maybe we'll get another glimpse of that slender mongoose, Brian. If he went from behind that timber, might move. But it's very difficult, probably one of the most difficult little predators to get on camera because they are so quick. Ah. Okay, so Karula went into a really thick area. That guys are still around there, so we're just gonna have a quick check, make sure she hasn't changed direction and heading back here. Okay, well, we've managed to collect a few species, so let's go see how James is doing.
Well, we haven't found anything extra special since we last saw you. In fact, we haven't found any kind of mammal or bird or insect different from what we saw before, but we did see some very nice giraffe at Buffelshoek Dam. We spent some time with them, as you know. There are some buffalo. We've already seen buffalo VM, so we shall just gently cast the camera over them and move along, which will fill you with great joy, of course, because they are not your favorite, are they?
No, my boss
Oh, you like buffalo now? I keep forgetting. Yes, it's giraffe that you're not that fond of. The wind seems to be getting stronger and stronger. Now, there's a warthog burrow here. Let's see if there are any warthogs in it. No, nothing has popped out. No warthogs. Rebecca, what is the score? Jeepers, 28-27, and we have 5 extra. Good grief. I suppose, to be fair, we were offline for a little while, weren't we? We're going to have to pick it up. I knew it was early days. It was very early days to be getting confident when we were 27-9 up. I cannot see anything here. They did only get 1 point for Karula, is that correct? Rebecca's gone to sleep, everyone. Sorry about that. No, don't worry, I'll make it up as I go along. Oh, here we go. Community nest spider. I suppose I've got to try and find a spider in it now, don't I? I suppose the home isn't going to really count. Now, see if I can retrieve a community nest spider from the spider's web. Oh, I don't think there's anyone home in here. Get him. Yellow-billed hornbill, everybody. Well done, Viam. 29. Give a fact. Yellow-billed hornbills will eat termites and community nest spiders. Here we go. There's the shell of an insect that was eaten by the community nest spiders. I don't suppose I'm going to get a point for that. No. There aren't any community nest spiders in that particular web. And I suppose I could have broken it open completely, but that would have been a bit nasty of me, so I'm not going to do that.
Oh, you also have to tell a fact about me.
Oh, I need a fact about Viam to get a point. My fact about Viam is that he was adopted by a cat. And his cat it just moved in with him one day, not so Viam, in Pretoria, and then it travelled all the way to Cape Town, to where he now lives, or in Stellenbosch, in a car without a basket. Correct? There we go. There's my Viam fact. I think it's quite an endearing fact. Viam was adopted by a cat. We haven't got impala on our list yet, do we? No, we don't. We drive very fast now because we're near to Sydney's dam. So let's see how we do when we get there. The wind is now blowing very hard. Can you feel it, everybody? Just hit in the face by flying debris in the face of this hurricane. Right. There must be something in these clearings, unless it's all taken fright and gone away and hidden somewhere. Which, frankly, is what I'd be doing if I was standing out here. Oh, 35 minutes of the Ranger race left to go. It's going to be a tight, close, difficult thing to judge. Luckily, we have Rebecca in the final control, and if she manages to stay awake for the next 35 minutes, we'll have a result. Kirsten, you need to keep her awake. Surely that cannot be. Surely it cannot be. What is that? That's a hawk. If I didn't know better, I'd tell you that was a Lanner falcon. Hang on a second. Sorry everyone, just hold on a sec. That is either a dark chanting goshawk or a falcon. Here it comes. Come on, bird. Come this way. Turn this way. We just need to get the underside of its wings, everyone. You see that very distinctive, well, you can only see you can't see what that is. It's diving. It's a falcon of some sort, everyone. That's really quite special. I don't think that that's a goshawk at all. And the only falcon that size that you can find in this area is a Lanner falcon. I've seen them twice in the Sabi Sand before. It's quite a big call to make. I just don't see what else it could be, actually. I'll show you a picture of it, and I will leave it up to the judges to decide whether I can have it or not. But if you tell Brent Leo Smith that I saw a Lanner falcon, he's going to fall out of his car. What have you got?
No, leopard tracks.
Leopard tracks. Probably the same leopard they've just seen.
Male.
Male. There's a Birchall starling. We don't have him. Male leopard tracks. Good stuff. Coming down towards Sandy Patch. Okay, perfect. I had his tracks here this morning. I'm sure it was from yesterday, actually. There's the Birchall starling, everybody. Let's just pop up to the dam here. The falcon is gone. See if there's anything at the waterhole here. Surely there must be an impala here. Not a sausage. Not even one sausage here. Brent Leo Smith has gone back to the Queen, which is imminently more pleasant than looking at this empty dam. So let's go back to the Queen and see her.
Now you can just make out Karula disappearing. Oh, and she's gone. And we're going to try to catch up with her again. She is gone into an incredibly difficult area. Now, she's literally going to pop out at our garages where we park the cars. So that's where she's heading. So I'm going to try to get back basically to the DRC. If I'm not stuck, that is. Okay, we're just trying to give you one last view before she disappeared. But I'm in a very difficult spot here. So we're just going to go across to James while I try extricate myself from the block.
And while he does that, we're going to desperately see if we can find some more species. Surely there must be a lilac-breasted rolla around here, or a crowned lapwing in the clearings, or even a Senegal lapwing in the clearings. William, you see anything? Or is everything taking fright and hidden from the hurricane? Anyway, let's just stop here. I just want to show you this bird in case. I would be hesitant to tell you, those of you who are keeping bird lists, to add Lanner falcon. But, well, you can make that choice on your own. As Boris Becker said after losing at Wimbledon in the first round one year, no one will die if you decide that you want to take it. There is the Lanner falcon. And the distinctive thing about them is the long tail and that very distinctive wing shape that they have when they fly, and the very distinctive flapping. Brent has seen the European hobby before. That's this thing here. It's migratory though, so it wouldn't have been one of those. I'm pretty sure it was a Lanner. Very nice. Good. I shall leave it to your discretion as to whether you take it or not. I'm going to. especially today. Delamay, you want to know if we find pangolins here? We do find pangolin here, Delamay, but very uncommonly. I've never seen them in the Sabi sand. Brent's seen one on drive here, but you do from time to time hear about them, and in fact last week they found one on Torchwood and everyone went to have a look at it. Torchwood is the reserve just to the east of us, not far from where we are now, and so they are around, and we find their tracks and we find their dung and we find where they've been digging and excavating, but they're very secretive and they're normally around only in the kind of dead of night, so we don't see them very often. Nice question, thank you, Delamay. Drongos, never mind, we've got them. I've never seen so few birds. Some more pixels there, everybody. Jennifer, I would happily hand over a victory to anybody who saw pangolin. If Brent finds a pangolin, he can have the victory for free. Tawny eagle. You have to take my word on that. Yeah, look at the way it's definitely a tawny eagle. I was hoping maybe for a Wahlberg's. Tawny eagle, we'll take it. The reason I knew that, tawny eagle, this is going to be my factoid, is that its wings and back were a different color. So its outer wing feathers are very dark chocolate brown, and its back was a much more tawny colored brown. And so that's how I knew immediately as it turned. It just turned slightly into the light like that, and then it carried on straight. And when it did that, we could see the different colors on the back. You couldn't see it, of course, in this lens. All you saw was a slightly darkened pixel in the top left-hand corner of your screen. That was a tawny eagle, I promise. I swear. Now, what else do we have through here before Brent extricates himself and goes back to Karula? Come on, VM. There was a bush baby's nest. Oh, well done. What's those green pigeons? Did you get them? Did anyone see them? Rebecca says that didn't count. She seems to have woken up, unfortunately. So we can't have green pigeons. What a dreadful pity. Yeah, I'll keep an eye out for those. Good run, VM. Sorry about that. Alright, now. We've got him, that's grey go-away bird. We've got him, that's Cape Glossy starling. Lapwings, must be some crowned lapwings in this clearing here. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on. Where are you? There's a ringneck dove, which we've already got. Must be a Senegal. Oh, no. 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 Negative, no. Karula is currently about to visit Mike and Candace for tea, so they're about to have Queen, at least tea with the Queen. Go and have a look.
So you're not going to believe where we are. We're back with Karula. She's going to pop out. Don't go back into the drainage line. No, she's not, thank goodness. There she is. She is within our camp bounds at the moment. So look at her, there she is. Unfortunately, there's an elephant fence that we can't get through. Now we've got some really relaxed little bushbuck and really relaxed inyala that we see in camp often. Brian doesn't like the bushbuck so much, it ate all of his sunflowers. So maybe Brian's hoping that Karula catches a bushbuck. So it's not uncommon for Karula, when I first arrived, to be in and around camp all the time. But we haven't seen her around here for quite some time. Well, not this close to camp anyway. I'm just going to move forward a little bit. Now we're looking if I go around a bit, right? How's that? You got it? We just okay. I've lost sight of it. Oh, there she is. Now we can't get a car in there, so we will try to look for her. She might pop out on the other side of this block. Oh, she's going to sit down. And you can see how well a leopard's camouflage works. Now, this is ideal hunting territory for her. There's some woody thickets all over the place. And a high number of bushbuck and inyala in this area. I don't think we're going to get another view. I think she's going to dip back down into that little river system that's uncrossable. So I'm going to try and make my way towards the Gallagher waterhole side and see if she pops out there. Yes, it looks like she might head back towards Gallagher Pan. Okay, but before we leave, quickly, Brian, a little acria butterfly. There it is, the little acria. Or did you go for the citrus swallowtail? I saw two. Where'd the acria go? We got a little bit up. And to the left. Oh, it's gone. Don't worry. But I just want to show you exactly where we are. So that is the old final control through there. And I'll show you exactly where Karula was. Okay. Now, this is going to blow your mind. Look at this. So Karula was right here. This is where we start our day every day. So there we go. This is where we park the vehicles. There's Jigger, who's busy being re-kitted, and that's why the back's open. So I was half expecting, there we go, there's Connor. So Connor was working on the vehicle, and there's Eggsy as well. And Louise, there's a whole pile of people here. So they were working on the vehicle, and Karula happened to pop in. So that's how close she was to camp. Hi everyone, you're on camera, wave. Connor, smile. Smile, Connor. There we go. Okay, well, enough of this nonsense. Let's go back to James and see what he's up to.
Liam and I both feel there's been much time wastage in that particular link, and I think showing people a parking bay while we're waiting here with the crested barbet, species number 786 for our day, is a little unfair. It is not the only species we have over here. Oh no! We also have a magpie or long-tailed shrike, thereupon that stick. Well done, Liam. Liam will take that one. That's two more. Oh, and the facts. Okay, crested barbet, fruit eater, all insects, but largely fruit. They enjoy pepino specifically. The long-tailed shrike lives in a flock of birds. There we are. And the flock is territorial, as we saw this morning, and they show their territoriality by singing very beautifully and waving their wings in a flag-like fashion. That is called flag waving. Thank you very much. On we go. I'd love to know what Brent Leo Smith's garden acrea fact was going to be. It's one thing identifying butterflies, but knowing anything about them is quite difficult because not many people know anything about butterflies other than what they're called. But luckily you didn't see it. Right, we're going round the corner here. We're going to find Senegal lapwings. It's going to be a waste of time. Hello, Tasha Michelle. I'm not really sure how to answer your question. You say, is this road we're driving on sand or is it dirt? And do we get sand here? I would normally use the terms sand and dirt fairly synonymously. Maybe you could ask the question again. It's just a graded road through the reserve. It's not surfaced at all, so they haven't put anything on it. I suppose sand is strictly speaking what we'd find in the riverbeds. It's much more large particles. This would be sandy loam, I suppose. It's kind of loamy soil, and then in those you may have seen in those. In the dams or in the pans that are on the sides of the road, what we find is clay, which is very small particles. So does that answer your question? If it doesn't, please feel free to send through another one and I'll give it a go. Now, there must be a roller around here. I know there's a roller living here. I also know that there are Senegal lapwings somewhere around here. And if I do not manage to get impala added to my list, I will be sorely shocked and horrified because impala are everywhere. Steenbok. Oh, we don't have Steenbok. We've only got duiker. Well done, Liam. Do you see how the Steenbok ran away because I was giggling maniacally? Let's see what else we can find through here. Sorry, this competition's getting to my head. I was so sane before we started this. There's some clearings around the corner where I know there to be Senegal lapwings and oft times impala. Alright, we're going to quickly go around the corner. I've been given a grace period to say if we don't find Senegal lapwings around the corner, we'll go across to Brent. My grace period is going to run out very quickly. Hold on, everyone. Impala and warthog. And grey hornbill. There it is. Grey hornbill, one of 4 hornbill species, lives in a hole, and impala just up ahead there, mixed feeding browsers. Let's go across and have a look at Karula.
So we managed to shoot round towards the Gallego pan and we spotted her. She's just gone down to rest. I'm going to try sneak forward an inch. See if we can see her a bit better. And there she is, the mighty queen of Djuma, Karula. So she looks quite hungry, so she's hunting, she's taking advantage of the strong wind. Oh! Is that a thorn? Oh dear. Oh, it's just, I actually think it could be a bit of grass. No, it's a thorn. It's not stuck into her eye, it's stuck just to the left of her eye. Now, that type of injury, or to the right of her eye, so it's not actually doing any damage, it's just holding in the skin, and it'll probably fall out, and she'd probably scratch it out if it was causing her great discomfort. Now that type of injury normally happens when she's chasing after something at high speed. And it'll probably fall out the next time she runs. So don't worry, guys, it's not in her eye itself, it's just below her eye. For a second I thought it might be a piece of a porcupine quill, but I don't think so. Looking at it now, it definitely looks like just a normal garden variety acacia thorn. Oh, no, look there. There's another one. Maybe she has been tangling with a porcupine. Or she's been in a fight, possibly. Just check her neck and her feet. And just make sure. Let's have a look if we can see any other protrusions. They don't look too serious. And of course on the camera they look a lot bigger than they are. So hopefully she walks towards us, then we can actually have a closer look. Where's the one? There we go. The one lower down in her face looks to be a bit deeper. As I said, it's probably from chasing something through thick bush and tackling it and then rolling around in a thorn thicket. Cecilia is wondering why doesn't she rub it out. Now, I'm trying to see how deep that one. So, oh, what's she seen? Now there's lots of little bushbuck and stuff here. Now the one down to the right on our screen, that looks like it'd be quite deep, or more difficult to get out. Yeah, it's definitely not a porcupine quill, it's definitely thorns. Let me get a photograph and then I can zoom it maybe a bit more. There we go. And see, it's just there. It's not actually. I don't think it's causing it too much harm. I'm gonna have a quick look now. No, that was very silly. Hi, Jen, who's in Dubai. Jen would want to know, would we ever intervene and remove the thorn from her face? And if we did intervene, what would be the circumstance? Jen, we wouldn't intervene for an injury like this. The only time we would intervene is if the injury was caused by human beings. Natural injury, even though it might be quite sad and she might, in certain circumstances, perish from that injury, we still would not get involved because this is the wild and it is not our place to intervene in a perfect system. But we're going to sit here, see if she gets moving. While we do that, it seems like James is streaking ahead in the games, but we've got the queen, so I don't mind.
There is an elephant, everybody. Hooray, hooray. A young bull. And as I've said to VM before, we know he's a bull, of course, VM, because of the shape of his forehead. Not so. There is no other indicator at all that he is a male. He is wandering off into the bushes there to see what he can find. I always worry when they walk around like that they aren't going to snag a particularly sensitive part of their bodies on some thorns or indeed stand on it. And I've never seen them actually do that. It always looks like it's going to happen. cannot be comfortable walking through this number of sort of dead sticks and thorns. Anyway, so it goes. He's a young bull. I'd say he's about 25 years old. So he's well on to his way to independence, or he is completely independent at the moment. And he'll join up every so often with some other bulls. But the one thing a bull elephant has plenty of is time on his own. Now, we can't go off-road to look at him, so let's just watch him a little bit longer, and then we're not too far from Red Dam. I wouldn't mind popping down there and just having a little look there on Arethusa. It's been quite a productive spot of late. Oh, he's coming back towards us. We're on the main boundary in our road now, everybody, between Arethusa and Djuma. A little distressing about Karula's injury there, I must say. I don't like it when that happens. And I know many of you will be asking about whether or not we'd interfere. I don't know what Brent's told you. I imagine if it looked like it was getting infected and bad enough, we probably would actually dart her and just pull it out. I don't know that that's the case, though. I think the idea would very much be to let it be, though, because she'll probably get it out. Ah, there we are. Bit of a vandalism going on here. No, he's not much of a vandal, this elephant. That's good to know. He's now squeezing himself between the marula tree and that combretum. He's obviously got an itchy patch of skin. Don't you think the combination of that golden, it's goldy green, I suppose, that goldy green and grey is so lovely. And it's very silent from a bird point of view suddenly, and I'm sure that's because of the wind. There we go. He's just turning into the sun and heading off towards the west. Isn't that a lovely colour? Very nice of him. That was highly artistic of you. All right, let's go to Red Dam, see what's knocking about over there. Very nice elephant bull. Haven't seen any tracks of Shadow, and I haven't heard any updates from her. Let's just find out on the radio if there are any western updates, i.e. updates from Arethusa. Good afternoon, stations, Arethusa. Any updates so far? Oh, much talking. Hang on. Afternoon stations, any updates on Arethusa this afternoon? I always say Arethusa. Go ahead. Go, thanks. No updates on Arethusa. I don't know why it is that when I say Arethusa on the radio, I just develop a lisp immediately. Okay, Red Dam, not too far from here. Let's pop across there and see what gives. It was Viam's choice to go to Red Dam. I think a particularly good one in lieu of our competition. How much time have we got left, Viam? 6 minutes. Oh, 5 minutes left, says Rebecca. The judge who's throwing prawns. In my family, everybody, we have an expression, and that is throwing prawns. And if you are throwing prawns, you are you are not paying attention to what's going on. And it comes from a time when, I don't know if anyone else will find this funny. Many, many, many years ago, we went out for dinner to supposedly this amazing restaurant in Kenton-on-Sea, or a little place next to Kenton-on-Sea called Bushman's River Mouth. Now, these are not sophisticated places, and therefore the reports of this amazing restaurant should have been taken with the proverbial spade load of salt. And indeed, as we waited 2.5 hours for our meal to arrive, the entire family well, the adult portions thereof. We weren't very adult at the time. I think I was only about 12. And the adults got progressively more merry as the evening progressed. And we started describing these outlandish scenarios of the chef in the kitchen, deeply inebriated and flinging prawns, trying to hit the pot from the ground where he happened to be lying. And so it developed into this expression in the family that if someone is not paying attention or not doing what they're supposed to, they are throwing prawns. So Rebecca, that's where it comes from. I'm not for 1 second accusing you of any form of substance abuse.
Have you had kudu?
Hmm?
Have you had kudu?
We haven't had kudu. Have you got kudu? Well done. Here's kudu, everybody. Pass the termite mine. Why didn't you hit me on the back of the head? We might not get kudu after that story. Shall I keep going? I thought I was supposed to tell. Oh, I can see them, yes. Little Ford? There we are, everybody. Kudu. Well done, Liam. Thank you very much for that. It's just, we're nearly at the dam now. Throwing prawns. Hmm?
Something on the lens.
Is there something on the lens? There is something on the lens, definitely, yes. I'm not sure that we can get it as a heartbeat species, though. Righty. Oh, lovely smell of potato bush in the air, infused with that sweet scent of that knob form that's flowering next to Red Dam. One hippopotamus. We've seen a hippopotamus, unfortunately. Can't have him. Ah, Egyptian geese. There we are. You'll see them, Wim. There they are. Rebecca, what is the score now? $37-27, everybody. How much time left? 2 minutes. Let's keep going. Let's not count our chickens. Let's not count our hukus before they have hatched. Even with the advantage, VM, even without it, we may have won. Can you believe it? That is a great stroke of luck. Rebecca, are you talking? There is an acria. Can you see it? You got it there? There, we got it! That is an acria, everybody. 1 second. Before the time's up. 80. Fact. Nobody said I couldn't read the fact. Acria. Come on, Acria. Come on, I need just bitter Acrias. Eggs laid in batches, white to yellow, larval and cylindrical, 6 rows of branch spines on the eggs. Branch spines on the eggs. Branch spines on the eggs. Do I get it? 38 species. Vim, well done. Don't leave me hanging. Oh, we fist pump. Here we are. It will make up for my pathetic performance on the actual athletics field. Good. Amazing how ridiculously satisfied that makes one feel despite its meaningless nature. Anyway, so it goes. Do you think this is how Usain Bolt felt after he won the 100 meters?
No, I think he was very tired.
Do you think he was more tired than we are? That's a bit of a drubbing there, really. 11. Strictly speaking, only 6.
Hey, give me his points back.
Yeah, I'll give him his points back. He can have them. Didn't need them, no. Still, 38 species in 2 hours in this area is not that good, really. I suppose it was probably down to the wind, everybody. Right, we're going to head down south towards Knobthorne clearings. See what we can find over there. And then we'll head back probably onto Djuma via the area known as Philemon's Cut Line and just see, I don't know, maybe Tingana's around there, maybe the Karula's youngsters around there. We don't know where they are. I haven't seen them for a little while. Was that our own dust catching us up, or was there someone in front of us? I think it was our own dust. Nothing seen on Arathusa this afternoon, everyone. So we're on our own over here. I think it's going to be quite an attractive sunset. Lots of smoke and cloud and haze in the background. Hello Milan, you want to know if I have any favourite trees? I most certainly do have favourite trees, Milan. My favourite tree is something called a Lowveld milkberry, and the reason it's my favourite tree is because it's got a nice fruit, A, and B, it looks like a sort of storybook tree. If they grow up for long enough, they look like something out of a magical sort of story, and that's why I really like them. What else do I like? Natal mahogany, we don't have them here, but they are very lovely trees indeed. And there was something else I was speaking about the other day. It just slipped my mind. I like the fig trees too, they're very pretty. But it's the Lowveld milkberry for me that wins it. And there's one really gorgeous one in the middle of a block here that Karula really likes. She often goes towards that tree and hangs her kills in it. And when she's in that tree, well, then I'm just in a place of great satisfaction. Now, I haven't heard any further reports of Shadow's cub, who was apparently seen on her own yesterday. That's Zara. Very odd indeed. And unfortunately, I think Zara, who's going to be 7 months old at the beginning of next month, that is probably too young for a leopard to become independent. It's not impossible. Nothing's impossible out here. But I think it's highly unlikely. So with any luck, Shadow won't fall pregnant this time round, this time that she's mating, and she'll give another 2 or 3 months to her female offspring, and maybe then Zara will survive. Much less chance of a male surviving from that age. So, and you know, it's quite interesting. Old Sindile was removed just shy of his first birthday. And oh, look at this beautiful bird. Look at it sitting there. I might even try and take a picture. And we didn't know if he was going to survive when he came back here after so long in rehab. Sindile was her Shadow's previous offspring, everyone. And somehow he's come back onto this reserve and he's managed to make it, you know. No one's taught him how to do anything. Nobody's explained to him where he may and may not go, or who the territorial males are. Nobody's taught him how to hunt. He's taught himself, and that's what leopards do. So if you do find a young leopard that has been semi-abandoned by its mother, if it's sufficiently old, and I guess 8 months is okay for a female, well then it might just survive. Very nice. We won't be giving any randomly stupid facts now because obviously we're done with that game, which I won. Didn't we? No, we won. VM, we won. Now I must just tell you that we are having the five-side chat, of course, today. And no, Rebecca, I'm not taking the glory for myself. I did remember eventually. There are two quite interesting things here. There's a squirrel on the top of that log and a dwarf mongoose. There's a dwarf mongoose there, and then up on the top, a squirrel. Isn't that nice? Now, a dwarf mongoose is a little carnivore. And I reckon that enough of them would take on a squirrel and try and eat it. But the squirrel has absconded and run away. I wonder if it wasn't being hunted slightly by that dwarf mongoose. It's quite interesting. Very nice. Where were you during the competition? There's a lovely smell of wild aniseed. It is such a nice smell. I love the little touches of smell that start to emerge as it gets a little bit warmer. Whatever aromatic oils there are in the plants and in the ground start to emerge. Right, Brent is still with Karula. He's got through some more thick bush. Let's go and have a look how the Queen is doing.
There we go. She's across from a river system from us. Oh, does look like she's heard something again. And she might get moving. There she is. Just resting, but she is hungry and hunting. So we're going to try to stick with her as long as possible. She's definitely going to get moving again shortly. Let's hope she moves towards us. So it's more than likely that she's left both the cubs somewhere safe, and now she's out hunting. I just need to be on the radio for a second. Orbs and Tax. If you, on the edge of that thicket, if you drive towards the Shkova, she's lying on the opposite bank under a tambuti. There we go, doing a bit of grooming. Now, has she managed to remove that thorn from her eye? She tried. Oh, white helmet sharks flying through. Have you got visual there? So, there's that very big tambuti directly opposite me. And she's straight opposite where our camera is pointing. Copy. She's on the southern side of the Shkova. wondering if she's going to get moving, go hunting. I'm pretty sure she's going to keep moving. And she's just taking a little respite. I can't see that thorn anymore. Am I being blind? FM taxi 55. So yes, I can just make out that little thorn there. As I said, I don't think it's too serious. Oh, it's tired kitty. Lots of hunting and obviously not too successful at the moment. And hopefully she manages to remove that. Oh, look at that. She's heard something. Paul's asking, did we see dry blood on her neck? Brian, I didn't notice any. Did you? No. I think it could just be the light. Could be a bit of dirt. I can't see any dry blood. It's a possibility we might have missed it, Paul, but I didn't see any. She looks like she's heard something now. Now there are lots of bushbuck and inyala in this area. Now, it wouldn't be incredible if she did manage to catch something this close to camp, and we'd have young Shungile and Hosanna literally on our doorstep. Wouldn't that be wonderful? Is she going to move? I wonder what she's heard. Her senses are just so much better than ours. Oh, look at that. She's definitely seen something now. You can see her body language has changed completely. Yeah, I'm just trying to look over my shoulder. I think I did see a bushbuck around here earlier. Maybe she spotted that bushbuck. I can see that lovely yellow and green. Really wonderful Tambuti colours just in front of her face there, that yellow and green. It's almost golden green. Oh, the wind's still blowing. It's going to be good hunting weather for her as it gets darker. Not to say she won't hunt during the day there. Ooh. definitely very interested in something. She's definitely spotted or heard something we can't see. It's very interesting to see what she's going to do now. You can see how strong the wind is. Now, if a leopard's going to hunt in daylight and not be overcast, cloudy weather, a strong wind like this is ideal. It's going to mask the sound of her moving through the bush. It's going to affect the prey species' smell and hearing. Look, there she goes, there she goes. Whatever it is quite close. You can see how low she is to the ground. Brian, can you see anything behind us? This is so exciting. Look at that focus on her face. Oh, I know Brian is doing a fantastic job tracking her through the bush. Look at this. Now, the way she's moving tells me that whatever she's stalking is very close. And she's moving an inch at a time. Look at those muscles. Look at that latent energy about to explode. I wish I could see what she was stalking. Whatever it is, it must be quite close. I'm just keeping peering back. Look at that. Look how carefully she places her feet to try and minimize any noise possible. She's lying down again. Now that by no means means the stalk's over. It just means she's contemplating her next move. I'm just going to try to turn the vehicle around so I can see in the direction she's looking. Oh, sorry, Brian. A bit of a jumpy start there. That's looking great. How much space we got, Brian? Not enough. Okay, I'm just going to turn around here quickly. It was a bit tight over there. Remember, just a 25-point turn, but we should be back with her in a few seconds. So I'm just repositioning in case she does shoot. We're facing the right direction and we might be able to possibly see what she's after as well. Oh, she's gone back to sleep. That's not uncommon. She might wait for the potential prey species to get closer to her. while the Queen is having a snooze, let's go see how James is doing.
Hello everybody, James is just driving along this particular road in the hopes that maybe, just on a hunch, that maybe she left the little ones here. I don't know why I thought that, I just thought it. So here I am. So far, no, not so much. We're going to make our way slowly up towards the fireside chat now. And the fireside chat, please, will be at 5:45, so we're going to have a fireside chat then. Please send your questions in. If you have any questions related to the Olympics or the Bush Olympics that happened out here, well then you're welcome to send your questions through. Otherwise, if you want to send through any questions, perhaps cub related, that's been the sort of highlight of our week, the lion cubs, you can send those through too. And we'll talk to you. It's just a little bit quick during those 15 minutes to actually take questions. So if you can send them through before we start, that's always a little bit better. We have a special guest appearance, like I said, from the Olympic champion himself. And also, for the closing ceremony, of course, it's always traditional to have a musical number performed by a star of musical note and worth. And to that extent, today we have the premier trumpet player of Juma joining us for the final sort of song, if you like, to play us out from the fireside chat today. So lots to look forward to, including a clip, of course, a highlights reel of the Bush Olympics Day, where you will see the thrills and spills that took place on what was certainly one of the most bizarre sporting experiences I've ever had. It was very funny. Now, the sun is just about to pop down. I'm going to show it to you as it goes just behind that gorgeous, gorgeous Scotia tree there. Oh, well done, Vian. That's a very faster level. Isn't that lovely? Every day we get to see that. This is a vicious cold front blowing through. But most days, that's the incredible sight we see every day. Breeze blowing out of the southeast, the rain that hit the Drakensberg and dumped quite a lot of snow actually all over the Drakensberg Mountains, not in this region, further south. Yesterday has not materialized here. So yet again my weather prediction has proved to be absolute nonsense. I didn't think we were going to get snow, but I did think we might get some rain. But we did not. And so I shall cease predicting the weather forthwith. Still the wind does blow, so I'm rather nervous of the fireside chat because there'll be quite a lot of smoke in our faces. Safari Dean, you want to know how often a particular area, I didn't quite hear which area, gets tornadoes, typhoons and cyclones? Well, South Africa. We get tornadoes every so often on the high veld around the Free State. In fact, we had one near Johannesburg the other day, near Pretoria. That's very unusual. We don't get them often, nothing like as often as they happen in the States. Cyclones that hit the Mozambican coast every year, but I mean, I don't know how it works with the hurricane season in the US, but it's the same kind of thing, same environmental conditions that cause cyclones. So some years we get lots, and some years none. South Africa doesn't get hit by them, unless they're particularly strong, and they come in off the Mozambican Channel over Mozambique. That's what, if we get flooding in this area, it's normally caused by cyclones offshore off Mozambique. But off the actual South African coast, almost never do we get cyclones. It's a very nice question. A typhoon, I think, is a cyclone. Isn't it the same kind of thing, but in the South China Sea? If I'm not mistaken, South China Sea is typhoon, cyclone around this area in the Southern Ocean, and then a hurricane up in the Atlantic. I think that's how it works. My hunch that Karula's babies were stashed in that drainage line proved to be utterly false, like my hunch about the weather. But of course nothing can dull my spirits, as I was the victor today, with VM of course, the victoring team in the mammal and bird and heartbeat count. And lichen, of course. Let's not forget the one species of lichen that we got. Marlene, you want to know about any news on the 6 Sticks cubs? No news at this stage, Marlene. They were all seen the day after we last saw them. They were all fine. Well, fine-ish. I mean, they don't look great. So they seem to be still alive. I don't know at this stage, though. No, we haven't seen them, and I think they went on to Mala Mala, which means we won't hear any news of them while they're there. We sometimes get a little bit of talk out of Mala Mala about the lions, but normally they concentrate their activities down in the south of the property, unless there's cheetah and things up in the north. And so, yeah, they don't often see them. But we'll keep an eye, Marlene. As I said the other day, you know, we had that Ngahuma little cub with a nasty injury on the back leg, and there were great predictions of its imminent demise from a broken pelvis or a bust up femur, from a dislocated hip, and it was definitely going to die. Everyone was definitely going to die. Well, 3 weeks later, or 2 weeks later, it's absolutely fine. There's nothing wrong with it at all. So, although they look dire, it's quite possible that they will survive. I think the big thing is that the skin disease they've picked up. Not sure where they got it from, probably from one of the Birminghams. We're not sure what it is. Brent reckons it's not mange. It's some kind of fungal infection. I wouldn't know, I must confess. So let's hope that it isn't mange. Apparently these fungal infections do clear up, and certainly they did on the Birmingham boy. That's cleared up completely on him. The lioness with the youngest cubs also seems to have picked up something similar, so she's continuously scratching herself, so maybe hopefully she won't give that to her cubs. But her cubs are so very well fed, they're fat little round things, so hopefully they will be fine and they won't pick it up. But I wouldn't surprise me at all to find that those Sticks cubs survived, so let's hope they do. We're heading to quarantine now, and we are going to go and join the fireside chat, and while we do that, enjoy the last 20 minutes or so with Karula.
You can see she's still lying there. Her head's up a bit now. It has been down for the last little while. But that intense focus we saw a little bit earlier has gone. So whatever it was has either moved further away from her, or she was listening and actually didn't see anything. But it just looked like, the way she was moving her body, that there was some potential or poor creature close by. If I move back a bit, Brian, we get a better view of her face. Oh, we've got a... There we go. I think that's about as good as it gets here. She is in a very difficult area. I'm hoping she does get moving again. Hopefully to a slightly easier area to operate in. But knowing Karula, that's wishful thinking. Hi, Tucker. Tucker's 4 years old. Tucker would like to know, will she growl at the flies? Sometimes she might, Tucker. Luckily for her, it's cool now, and the strong wind will keep a lot of the nasty flies away. She's definitely Still interested in something that's off to the north of us. Not as interested as she was a little bit earlier, but there is definitely interest. She keeps listening quite carefully in that area. There might be some Inyala up ahead. We can't see. All we can do is just make her out through the bush. Liz is saying, are you telling us to keep our eyes and ears focused on the Djuma Dam cam? We might see Krula tonight. I think it's a very strong possibility, Liz. Brian, if we come out, and if you can get, do you see any of that there, like those patches of light soil there? That's the buffalo and elephant fence of the Djuma camp. So you can see that's been cleared, and there's actually an electric fence there. You can just make out can you make them out? Yeah, you can. There you go. You can see the wires just. So that's the electric fence. So that's how close she is to camp. So definitely keep an ear and an eye out on the Djuma Dam cam this evening. It's amazing how good that camouflage is. So Sandy's wondering, do any of the big cats purr? They do not. Oh, actually, I suppose cheetah purr. But what you would consider traditional big cats, lion, leopard, tigers, jaguars, they do not purr. Now, there's a reason for this. It's called their hyoid apparatus. And fortunately, I think I have an example. While she's being still there. See. Okay. So, Sandy, this is the hyoid apparatus of a small cat, and the small cats are able to purr. Now, the hyoid apparatus is in the voice box, and it's a solid bone in small cats. Now, if we look at the hyoid apparatus of a big cat, that part that is solid in a small cat is elastic cartilage in a big cat. Now that enables them to roar, but it removes the ability to purr. So they can roar, but not purr. So there we go. I hope that helps explain that a little bit, Sandy. And she still hasn't moved, but her ears are still up. She's still listening, looking towards that northern area. Now, Zoe's asking, does catnip or a similar plant grow in the wild out here in the bush? The answer to that, Zoe, is not that I'm aware of. I don't think so, but, sorry, I'm just trying to get something there. One thing that does attract leopards and lions and is used by scientific researchers when they place camera traps, they will spray a certain scent at that camera trap to get the leopard to spend more time in front of the camera trap. But it seems like leopards have very expensive taste, and the most successful scent to be used around a leopard to make a leopard stop and rub up against it is Chanel. So very expensive taste leopards. They've experienced with Calvin Klein, DKNY, all of them, but Chanel is the number one at getting leopards excited. So there we go, ladies. If you wear Chanel, I think it's number 5, you're channeling the inner leopard. It doesn't look like she's going to move too soon. We are going to have to start heading towards Fireside Chat. And we are in a pretty precarious position. It might take us... Oh, no, she's going to... Got a little bit of a limp. We actually saw us down on a thorn a bit earlier. Andrew, she's moving sort of east. So, statistically speaking, who's a brand new viewer, welcome on the show. Statistically speaking, I've lost the leopard, but I will try to find her again. I think she's actually going to go onto the fence of the lodge, but is wondering why isn't that leopard attacking us? Well, firstly, I'm in a nice big safari jeep. I'm way too big for her to attack, but she's so used to the vet. Okay, I got it. Okay, it's not basically between these two in the center, about there. I think. Higher on top of the bank. There. Can you believe that's a leopard? You can see that rosette there. There we go. There she is. And as I said, this is a very difficult area. We're not going to be able to follow her through there, even if we wanted to. So we're going to start making our way towards a Fireside Chat. Unless she moves again. Doesn't look like it. So, as you can see, we've done some maneuvering to get into this position. Oopsie. Stump. Now, Michelle says maybe she's going to Fireside Chat. Wouldn't that be lovely, Michelle? To have Queen Karula join us on the fire. Oh, just gonna wait. We might lose signal here. Just waiting. We had a bit of a... We had to put the aerial down while we got through there. I can't remember how we did this, Brian. Sure. I'm even quite impressed that we got through here. Okay. I think the best way is going to be to sneak through here. So we do apologize if we disappear for a second. It's just we've got to drop the aerial to get through some of these trees. Okay, so serious concentration now. Because the elephants seem to have decided to block my normal route out of here. And we're not going to fit through there. Oh, we'll have to go back up there. So some technical driving on a Sunday afternoon. Just keep checking to see if she doesn't pop up behind us. She's done that to us quite a few times. Let's change the angle on that approach. Thornies. So, unfortunately, I can't go further to the left because there's a large hole. That's not going to work, is that right? Okay, bear with me a second. Oops. Handbrake helps. Did you see that? I was hitting here, but the whole tree is rotten from an elephant. and it all nearly fell over. There we go. That's one. Difficult to angle this one. Yeah, they're barking. Bo, bo, bo. She just tried to catch a bushbuck. Sounds like she wasn't successful, unfortunately. Her. There we go. That should have been it. Okay. Afternoon workout over. But I just saw a bushbuck running away. Now, I've actually been doing that to get out of an area before, and I've had a male leopard walk up to me and have a look at me while I was doing it. Okay, apparently she might pop out right behind us. Okay, let's just get through here. You okay, Brian? Do you want to borrow my machete? Unfortunately, it's quite a steep dip there. I'm just going to hang on. I'm just going to move that thorn bush around the camera. See the thumb doing its work. Now, there's no freeloaders here on the vehicle. Okay, I'm going to have to go back again, Brian. Watch out. Do that 500 to point to turn. Ooh, that. Now, you can see these are really nasty thorns on here. It's hooked into the dash. There we go. Okay, don't jump up and hit me. You okay, Brian? Are you ready to move again? Okay, well, here we go. Here we go. Let's get rid of our hangers on while we do that. Now, we're just going to pop around the corner, see if we can get one last visual of Karula. Okay. Why are we losing signal all of a sudden? Oh, we haven't lost signal. Okay, so we're back. Sorry about that. And okay, we are going to see if we can see Karula popping out here. We can't, so we're going to shoot off to fireside chat. So let's go join James next to the fire.
Well, there seemed to be a little bit of confusion there about whether or not he should come to the fireside chat or not, but here you are, and welcome to the fireside chat of the, what is the date today? I think it's the 22nd, the 21st of August. Thank you, Eggsy. Eggsy is on camera. This is his first fireside chat, everybody, so you can expect some slow pans and tilts in the Cape Town fashion. Thank you, Eggsy, and well done. You're all most welcome, and we're going to be chatting about bits and pieces of the Bush Olympics and our little competition that we had today. And Nyan, just before we get into that, we're going to discuss a few highlights of the week. You say there was a video posted on Facebook of the Styx cubs, and they all looked rather fat and rather happy. Well, that's brilliant news. Thank you very much for that, Nyan. So, the highlights of the week, I suppose we should talk a little bit about the Nkahuma Pride and their beautiful cubs, especially those fat little things that look like teddy bears. Those are the youngest ones. They're now probably about 6 weeks old. And then, of course, that amazing fight that took place when we were watching, Eggsy and I were watching, one Birmingham boy, the 4 females and the 5 slightly older cubs. Some of them now, I guess they must be approaching, what did we say? We said almost 14 weeks, we thought. And then the others about 10 weeks, probably. So we're probably looking at 14, 10 and 6. I think that is what I said. It's somewhere around there. Anyway, what happened was the male stood up. We think Amber Eyes is possibly an estrus, and he sort of started looking around a bit, and 2 of them just went for him, and there was a tremendous noise, a tremendous growling and swatting of female on male. The male then just retreated and sort of roared in the background as if to show that he was very strong and not vaguely afraid, and he had a nasty cut down his nose to add to his already rather spectacular array of scars. The cubs then started roaring as well, and that was very funny. There's nothing funnier than when a whole pride starts to roar and the little cubs start doing the same thing, and they look around like this and they go, "Arr, arr, arr, arr," while the rest are making this tremendous throat or blood-curdling sound. Anyway, so that was a great highlight. Then, of course, another amazing highlight which happened only 2 nights ago, the sight of Shadow in Tingana, sitting at the Djuma Dam camera, and definitely she in the throes of estrus, or some sort of anestrus, maybe a proto-estrus. Very confusing stuff. We've discussed it, both Brent and I, and I'm sure you've all been discussing it amongst yourselves over the last 2 days. Why is she coming into estrus? Reports coming through that Zara, the young cub, who will be 7 months old round about the beginning of next month, still seems to be alive and was left on her own in much the same way as Sindile used to be left on his own when Shadow was around. We might find that Sindile's removal to rehab after he caught that rabid dog, it always amuses me to say that he went to rehab, we might find that that particular time of his life actually saved him, actually gave him the opportunity to get bigger and get fatter and be able to look after himself in an area like this. So that's really quite interesting. We might not find the same thing with Zara, but in Zara's case, of course, once she reaches 8 months or so, it's possible that she'll be able to look after herself. So that's quite interesting too. Now you might be looking at me and thinking, gosh, that's very strange. He seems to have a red star affixed to the front of his forehead. And you'd be correct, I am indeed sitting here with a red star affixed to the front of my forehead. And Christy, you say you love my red star. I love my red star too. It was presented to me by Louise Pavid on my arrival here. She's now waving from the background, for winning the mammal or the Bush Olympic competition that we had today. Rebecca, what was the score again? Very high to me, 38 points to me, 27 to Brent. So I will give Brent back the 5 points that he gave to me on account of his deep arrogance and thought that he would win, and I still won by 6 points. Ha 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 ha. Lizette, you say, would I have been more competitive had I not had my 5 bonus points? No, I don't think so. I think I was quietly confident and deeply confident when I had my 5 points, so that was very good indeed. Now, just wandering in here, uninvited, is Brent Leo Smith, of course. Hello, Brent. Sit down. Yes, thank you. That's why I didn't stand up, because you see, I'm the winner. And I'm the winner, of course, because you can see I have a red star on my forehead. Is it not very attractive?
So it's sparkly as well.
It is, yes.
It's shining. It's actually, I'm quite scared of it.
Yes, you should be.
Yes.
Yes. So, 38 points to...
28, 27.
No, what? Say that again, more loudly.
27.
27, there we are. Thank you so much.
I sort of
God.
knew it was over as soon as we had the leopard there.
Yes. Oh, you're making excuses that you
No,
had
no
a leopard.
excuse.
Right, so those were the highlights. What did you see anything spectacular during this particular race that we had?
Karula was doing got some very interesting, she's got a thorn stuck in her face.
A thorn or a porcupine?
I
cord?
thought initially porcupine cord, but I looked closely with a super zoom, and it was definitely a thorn.
Wow.
So right just below her eye in here, and then she's got another one in her cheek. So it not more actually a spine than a thorn. So not.
From
so
what do you think?
I
Like
think
a
could
zebra
be,
would? Or
looks
a
like it.
Bicrostachus?
Maybe she's been, when she tried to grab something in a roll, or she had a fight with something, and but it's, I mean, The one below her eye is not too deep and doesn't look to be bothering her too much,
Yeah.
but the one in her cheek is quite deep and it's broken off, so she can't really get at it. But it doesn't seem to be affecting her. She's also got a bit of a limp.
Really? So she had some kind of contretemps with
Yeah.
something.
I think most likely in a hunt,
Yeah.
an unsuccessful hunt. I don't think she's been
It is
battling
interesting,
creatures.
don't you think, how seldom they get injured? I mean, they live physical lives, and I mean, a male impala is heavier than she is, substantially
yeah.
heavier than she is, and somehow they manage to get by and they don't get injured. It's a testament, again, to their incredible resilience. Right. Eggsy, our brand new cameraman slash editor slash resident hipster, has edited together a wonderful highlights package of the Bush Olympics that we had this week. Have a look at this.
Who wants it?
Spoon, please. This beetle just chomps that too, man. Come on, man.
Thank you, thank you.
I think it's the
Welcome back, everybody, and you can see there we had quite a lot of fun. Brent and I fell over at one stage during that thing, and I think we're quite lucky there was some soft sand there.
Yes.
You got a little graze.
I got a little
Yes.
one. It's almost healed now, and there was I think that was
Oh,
the
well,
worst.
would you
of it.
survive? Well, I
did,
think
yes.
that's not bad, given the state of safety that was generally observed. I'm astounded no one died during the tree
Tree
climbing.
climbing, yes. The tree climbing was quite scary.
That was very scary. Won by Brent Leo Smith, by the way.
Well, see, I think it was a bit unfair that tree climbing it was definitely biased towards people of above average height.
Yes, as opposed to those below average height.
Yes, it took sort of 2 jumps for
Yes.
Brian and myself to get up.
Now, Gracie, aged 9, thank you for your comment. You say you're very proud of me for getting my red star. Thank you very much. But you feel Brent should get one for trying. Gracie, Brent didn't need one for trying because he won the 100 meters and the tree climbing contest, so he didn't need another star. He has got plenty of gold medals. In fact, here are his 2 medals.
Oh, where did you find those?
Oh, I think they were found in camp. There you are. Those are Brent's 2 medals. And then, James Richard, you want to know why my sort of sign was a poo emoji. That is because I am the bush laxative. Any animal I look at immediately voids its bowels. Now, Brian, and at least Brent and I are going to stand up
Yes.
as we welcome the greatest Olympian in Safari Live history, Mr. Brian Joubert. Well done, Brian. Well done. Can we have a bit of applause from the background there? Thank you, and cheering. Thank you. Thank you. Well done. Brian, here are all your medals.
Oh, wonderful.
All
Just
your
let me
incredible
just- let me
medals.
just hold them
There
right
you
there.
are. Just hold them
Yes.
there.
Raise the arm.
Would you be so good as to sit
Yes.
between us? We would so
Oh, thank
love
you.
to have
Thank
you with
you.
us.
Thank you.
And we're just going to give you a brief interview. Could you talk us through which events you won?
Ooh,
Did you get bronze in anything?
I did.
What was bronze for?
I think for the droog spoeg. Spitting of the dung, the droog spoeg.
For the bok drol spook.
That's the one.
So for the spitting
Only
of
came third.
impala feces, you came third.
Yeah.
Well done.
Thank you.
And the silvers?
Silvers for... Actually, I also came bronze, third
Oh.
in the 100-meter dash.
And third in the 100-meter
Right
dash.
behind
Well
these
done.
two,
And
right
you didn't
behind,
fall
right
over.
behind. No, I didn't fall.
Well
I was
done.
professional at
Yes,
the end there.
you were. Silvers?
Silvers, I'm actually not sure. There were so many events and I have so many medals, I lost count. I
Did
lost track.
you got gold for the elephant dung put?
Yes, the elephant dung put, I scored the gold.
That's very
I
good.
think that was about all that I actually managed to grab a gold for.
Really? Is that all you got? And tree climbing? You did
Second place for the
Second
tree
place,
climbing.
okay. The other events we had Egg and Spoon.
Egg and Spoon, I didn't feature.
You didn't
Qualifying.
feature.
Yeah, I
Oh yes,
didn't
there was
feature
only
at
one
all.
winner. That was Amanda. You may have noticed, everybody, that no one finished that except Amanda. Steph thought he'd won. Connor thought he'd won. They dropped their eggs on the line. Then I thought I'd won because I was coming third. I dropped my egg. Everyone else dropped their eggs. Except Amanda, who came in 3.5 hours after the rest of us began.
Giggling.
And then there was the fold.
The
folding.
fold I featured there, I came, I think it was a second.
Second.
Second in
Good.
the fold.
That was the folding of the reflector board, a task that
was
is
a very difficult
absolutely
event.
impossible to do entirely. Now, I think, if I'm not incorrect, we have 1 minute left. Is that correct, Rebecca? 1 minute. Now, we have a very special treat for you, everybody, the Olympic anthem, the ultimate Olympic anthem, of course, that of Chariots of Fire. And here, I did promise you, Juma's premier trumpet player
take my
to
seat
come
here.
and join us here.
Oh yes, we'll give him a...
Here he is, everybody, Mr. Willem Dorenbrach, the greatest trumpet player in the history of Juma. All right, here we go, everybody. Let's sit down so that we're close to the microphone. Brian, you're going to lay down the beat, are you?
Yes, but aren't you going to start with
I will
the
start
general
with the
drone?
bass,
Here we
and
go.
you're going to just click, are you? Okay, well, that's it. Here we go. Dum, 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 Bye-bye, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow at 6 o'clock. Dum, 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 dum. The great... A squirrel on the top of that log and a dwarf mongoose.